Right now, 2 schools in Janesville taking classes online after confirmed cases of the coronavirus. We're breaking down their plans for the shift to virtual learning.
And almost a week after UW's lockdown began, we're finally hearing from the school's chancellor why she says it's better for students to be on campus.
And coming up, I'll have the 3 things that you need to know about the forecast today.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, September 15th. After just 9 days in the classroom, students at 2 Janesville schools are switching back over to virtual learning today.
Craig High and Roosevelt Elementary schools will go online only until at least next Friday. Janesville had previously left that choice between in-school learning or virtual up to the parents. The school statement says there are several known cases of COVID-19, but it didn't specifically say how many. The district says it's currently undergoing rigorous contact tracing to help determine when those schools can reopen.
They spent so many hours yesterday evening trying to start following up on cases and who should be listed as a close contact, who should not be, who should be considered a low-risk student.
The district says there's no sign these students caught coronavirus at school. Rather, it's likely they brought it into the district. Leaders there say they've got until September 25th to do contact tracing, and then they'll decide whether to bring the kids back to the classroom.
Meantime, Janesville school officials are developing a plan for students with learning disabilities. That'll start by contacting their families to see what kind of services they'd need. Should students at the high school stay online, they say it's likely there would be a special program for students with IEPs.
Marquette University in Milwaukee is ordering its students in one of the dorms to quarantine for the next 14 days. Starting at 10 last night, all students in Schrader Hall have to quarantine. That announcement comes after the university confirmed a cluster of COVID cases among those residents.
For the first time since the start of the school year, UW-Madison Chancellor Rebecca Blank gives us an update on the school's response to the pandemic. She is defending her decision to quarantine 2 dorms and nearly 24 greenhouses. They say there have been more cases than expected, but says she still would have had students come to campus for the fall if she were faced with the same decision.
Most of our students were going to be in Madison this fall. They were taking up their housing contracts. They did not want to be back in their bedrooms with mom or dad. Better that they have some structure to their schedule with some in-person classes, lots of visible messaging about health protocols, and access to in-person testing. That will be true throughout the semester.
The university has done 30,000 tests over the past month, and officials are hoping to increase that. Blank says they're constantly working closely with health experts and will use that data to determine if a return to in-person instruction is possible.
Across the state, Wisconsin has now officially topped the 90,000 mark for confirmed COVID-19 cases. Nearly 980 new cases were reported yesterday, a significant drop from the day before. 18 more people were hospitalized. 1 additional death was reported. As for the positivity rate, out of the nearly 4,000 tests done, just under 20%, or nearly 1 in every 5 tests, came back positive over the last 24 hours. And a new study believes blood type is associated with coronavirus risk. Scientists at genetics company 23andMe looked at more than 1 million DNA samples. They found people with O-type blood tend to test positive for the virus less frequently compared to any other blood type. The study also found a rare genetic mutation in fewer than 10% of the population that appears to increase the risk for a more severe case. The study, though, isn't considered scientific because it relied on self-reported data and it hasn't been peer-reviewed.
Trials for a possible coronavirus vaccine will remain on hold until at least the middle of this week. The United States is running an investigation into the shot from AstraZeneca. Trials for the possible vaccine were put on hold here in Madison and around the world last week after a patient in the UK reported a neurological illness. Reuters reports vaccine testing has already resumed in the UK. They will not carry on here until the FDA safety panel gives the go-ahead. New guidelines go into effect today dictating how states can use federal dollars for the pandemic. Those limitations include only using money for personal protective equipment and only for healthcare workers, patients, and first responders. That PPE would be on a limited supply for only 60 days. These plans were first announced a couple of weeks ago. Last week, Governor Evers sent a letter to FEMA asking them to reconsider this change. because he said it would change the state's response for cases in schools and prisons, which were based on previous agency guidelines.
6:04 on a Tuesday morning. Hattie McLean has the 3 things to know in the forecast, and they're all good this week. Well, pretty good.
Yeah, compared to last week, we have a pretty nice forecast coming up. We do have some haze in the area. You probably noticed that yesterday. If you looked at the sky, it was more gray than blue. That's smoke from the wildfires out west, and it's here again today, most likely into Wednesday as well. We are going to see warm temperatures, though, in the area, a little bit warmer than normal, but no rain in sight for the foreseeable future. Take a look at this picture. Kenton sent this in last night. It's a smoky sunset over Lake Mendota. You can see the impacts of that haze in our atmosphere, turning the sun kind of a reddish-orange color as it set last night. So thanks, Kenton, for sending that one in. Here's a look at our future track, forecasting the smoke in the area starting early this morning. Again, it's hazy all across the area, and not a whole lot is expected to change through the day today. So we're likely to keep that hazy sunshine through the day on Wednesday. Once again, we'll likely see some haze in the atmosphere, but later Wednesday into Thursday, a cold front is expected to move through, and that may shift up the atmosphere just enough to start clear out a little bit of that smoke in the middle and upper levels of the atmosphere. Temperatures statewide this morning are actually pretty mild. As you look from north to south, we have temperatures in the 50s and 60s. In fact, it is a little bit warmer to the north. Rhinelander, Eau Claire, you're in the 60s this morning, 63 in the Cross, 56 here in Madison. Winds are going to be from the southwest today, and they'll be increasing. Take a look at these future track wind speeds in that 10 to 20 mile an hour range through the mid-morning and late afternoon hours. Winds will diminish, but that southwesterly wind means a warmer day for us. Temperatures will climb through the 60s. By lunchtime, should already be in the low 70s here in Madison. We'll top in the upper 70s, real close to 80 later on today. Take a look at that extended forecast. More of the same for tomorrow with a high of 78 degrees. We do drop things off. I mentioned that cold front late Wednesday. By Thursday, we're looking at highs in the mid-60s and then low 60s Friday and Saturday. But with a forecast looking like that, I don't think anyone's going to complain about low 60s.
Even sunny and 60 this time of the year, you can't really complain about that.
Beautiful.
All right, Hattie, thank you. Developing this morning at 6:06, ballots are now finalized for the November general election. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has ruled to keep the Green Party off the ballot. In its decision, the court writes in part the petitioners delayed in seeking relief in a situation with very short deadlines, and that under the circumstances, it is too late to grant petitioners any form of relief that would be feasible. Essentially, the court said the Green Party waited too long to make their appeal, and forcing clerks to reprint ballots would lead to more delays and confusion. Meanwhile, the City of Madison Clerk's Office tweeted several photos overnight thanking all of the poll workers who helped label nearly 80,000 absentee envelopes. Another tweet said they plan to work overnight so they can start mailing out the ballots first thing this morning.
President Trump's re-election campaign continues a week of stops in Wisconsin. Vice President Mike Pence visited Janesville yesterday. He held a rally with about 250 people at the Holiday Inn Conference Center, telling them the road to victory runs right through Wisconsin. His speech focused on the administration's commitment to law and order and backing the badge.
The President and I know that the men and women who serve in law enforcement are some of the best people in this country. They literally put their lives on the line every day. They count our lives more important than their own.
There will be 2 more Trump campaign stops this week in Wisconsin. The president's son, Donald Trump Jr., will be in the Wausau area today. President Trump himself will be in Mosinee on Thursday, rescheduling a visit that was originally planned for Friday.
Taking a look at your First Warn traffic now as I walk back to the First Warn Traffic Center, guys. We do have a new crash into the First Warn Traffic Center right now. We've been keeping an eye on that throughout the morning so far. We're learning that a semi driver was injured after rolling over. This happened on the westbound on-ramp from I-3990 this morning. You can see it is closed at this hour. We are down to around 26 miles an hour right now. Again, one person was injured in that crash. We do have a crew on the way to the scene. We'll bring in the very latest as that comes in. The rest of the Madison Metro looking like this. Just a few delays ramping up along East Washington Avenue. Other than that, looking pretty good on this Tuesday. Well, coming up, we're continuing to track the latest on Hurricane Sally as it is set to make landfall on the Gulf Coast.
Plus, plans to rebuild Kenosha after protests and violence. How local leaders and officials are trying to repair the city.
Thanks for starting your Tuesday with us, folks. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Hello, I'm I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows, and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
Go Anywhere pillow is really comfortable, so that's what I really like. It's nice and supportive, and it's nice and small.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com to get deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but so much more. For example, you get body pillows regularly $89.99, now only $29.99, or MyPillow dog beds for as low as $19.99 with your promo code.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
During Joe Biden's 47 years in Washington, Made in America was replaced with Made in China. Biden's bad trade deals put China first, and American workers paid the price. Millions of jobs lost to Mexico and China. Donald Trump is the jobs president. He helped create millions of jobs. Factories returned. African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and women saw record gains. President Trump will always put America first.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Comfort Services, buy 1 air conditioner and get 1 gas furnace for only $1,000. BOGOs are back, and it's a beautiful thing.
Welcome back. Kenosha city leaders have a new plan to help rebuild that city following protests and violence in response to the shooting of Jacob Blake. That plan is being called Kenosha's Commit to Action Roadmap. The mayor there says it will work by bringing people from all parts of the community together, and some business leaders say they wouldn't have it any other way.
We're not going to allow it to be left out of the process. It is public knowledge when they meet, whether it's hearing sessions, press conferences, whether we're allowed inside the room, we'll be outside the door, and then we'll speak our minds then. So we will always come to the table.
City leaders say Kenosha's rebuilding plan will focus on 4 areas: police and community relations, criminal justice, employment, and education. The police budget for 2021 was also announced. It will include money for body cameras for Kenosha's officers.
Kentucky's Attorney General is set to present the case of Breonna Taylor's death to a grand jury soon. The 26-year-old was shot and killed in her apartment after police served a no-knock warrant on March 13th. It's not known what evidence will be presented or what witnesses will be allowed to speak. None of the officers involved have been charged with a crime, but that could change based on the grand jury hearing. After hearing the arguments, jurors will be able to decide if they think a crime has been committed and if charges should be filed. Federal authorities are now getting involved with the investigation of a black man who died while in Louisiana State Police custody. The man, Ronald Green, was taken into custody last May after a police chase. Green's family says that they were initially told he died after hitting a tree with a car. However, they were told later that there was a struggle between Green and state police before his death. Witnesses at the scene say they saw officers pin Green to the ground and use a stun gun. His death was ruled an accident and did not include mention of a struggle.
With summer 2020 pretty much in the books now, NOAA says it was officially the hottest one on record. Not only was it the hottest summer, but June through August was also Earth's hottest 3-month period. And August was the second hottest month ever, coming just short of the record currently held by August of 2016. The top 10 warmest Augusts have all happened since 1998.
Happening right now, wildfires in the west continue to burn this morning. CAL FIRE says it has more than 16,000 firefighters working to contain 28 major wildfires in the state. Those fires have killed at least 24 people, destroyed 4,200 structures, and burned about 3.2 million acres. That's an area almost the size of Connecticut. Fires have also killed 10 people in Oregon. Firefighters there say they're making good progress and hope to get the upper hand this week, even though weather conditions are looking to only make things worse there. Meanwhile, in the southern part of the country this morning, Louisiana, Alabama, and parts of Florida, all under a state of emergency as they wait for Hurricane Sally to make landfall. The National Hurricane Center is expecting a life-threatening storm surge when that does happen. Many low-lying areas are under an evacuation, and some areas are expecting to get more than a foot of rain. Meteorologist Aaron White is here tracking Hurricane Sally as well as several other named storms in the Atlantic this morning. Good morning, Aaron.
Yeah, Josh, we have a lot going on this morning with a bunch of storms out in the Atlantic, but the primary focus this morning is Hurricane Sally. It is now downgraded to a Category 1 hurricane from Category 2 strength yesterday, which is some good news, but bad news is it's moving rather slowly, only at about 5 miles per hour with the latest update. But you can see it's just offshore here by about 50 to 100 miles just south of Mobile, Alabama. But you can see a lot of deep convection there, so it is trying to re-strengthen just a little bit this morning. But it is also encountering a bit of dry air. But the bad news, because it's moving so slowly, it's going to bring a lot of heavy rainfall over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours across the southern tier of the Gulf Coast states from Louisiana through Mississippi, Alabama, into northwestern parts of Florida, but still see it's a Category 1 hurricane as it makes its way to the west-northwest, eventually curving back to the north and east, but still rather slowly weakening down to about a tropical storm as we go into Wednesday afternoon, down to about 70 miles per hour, but still pretty powerful tropical storm as it makes landfall late tonight into early on Wednesday. But we do have hurricane warnings in effect from New Orleans over towards parts of Mississippi, Alabama, into northwestern portions of the panhandle of Florida. But you can see all that rainfall spiraling into the north across the southern portions of the Gulf Coast states. So like we mentioned, over a foot of rainfall is expected, but there are still other storms out in the Atlantic. Luckily, those are not expected to impact the U.S. at all, any land for that matter, but still just a rather active hurricane season so far for 2020.
Yeah, very active, and we'll watch Sally closely over the next 24 hours as it makes landfall.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's good news that it's weakened a little bit, but still moving so slowly that the flooding rain is going to be a big concern.
Yeah, you know all that rain we had last week. Can you imagine multiplying that by 4 or 5? Well, no rain in our forecast here today. A look at weather track showing you skies are clear across southern Wisconsin. A bit of cloud cover moving across the UP and the far northwoods this morning. But overall, a very quiet weather pattern settling in here for southern Wisconsin. We will have hazy sunshine again today. Temperatures are starting in the 50s this morning. It's actually a little bit warmer to the north. Eau Claire and La Crosse are at 63 already, and Rhinelander is at 60. Here's your bus stop weather forecast. It is going to be a mild day today. I don't think you're going to need a jacket at all. Temperatures are already close to 60 this morning, and we're only going up from there. Highs will reach 78 later on this afternoon. Our rain chances are pretty slim through the rest of this week, and even looking ahead into next week. We have a slight chance on Monday and Wednesday, but that leaves the weekend dry. Temperatures will top in the low 60s on Friday, upper 60s on, or low 60s on Saturday, and then a little warmer on Sunday. But overall, a very nice late summer, early fall weekend.
Thanks, Hattie. No crowds will be allowed this year for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. For the first time in its 94 years, the parade will only be seen on TV. New York's mayor says they're reimagining the whole parade and adding pandemic precautions. That'll include a limited number of people involved, about 75% less than previous years. Instead of hundreds of balloon handlers, vehicles will pull them. And there won't be any marching bands. All bands who were picked to perform this year will be asked to come back next year. And you won't find any Peeps in your Halloween basket or Christmas stocking this year. I've never gotten any of those in my Halloween basket. Or
you're lucky.
Yeah, like. So the company that makes Peeps suspended production back in April to protect its employees. As a result, the company says the holiday-themed marshmallow treats will not be back in stores until next year. That means Valentine's Day Peeps will also not be available.
Shucks.
Oh, darn
Shoot. All right, you won't have to worry about missing out on your holiday alcohol. However, Aldi's says it's bringing back its alcohol advent calendars. The grocery chain announced it will start selling a collection of more than 20 different advent calendars in November. The choices include a wine, beer, or hard seltzer countdown. They'll also have calendars with cheese and chocolate, and even an advent calendar for pets.
How many of those are going to run out before Christmas?
You get a whiskey one every year. Does it last until Christmas?
Yeah, you stretch it out. Sometimes, like, I'll wait a couple of days, and then you get to have like maybe 2 or 3 one night.
Disciplined young man
They're small.
over
They're
here.
teeny tiny little like 1 or 2 ounces in each
After
one.
a tough week, he just holds off for the whole week until Friday. I get it. I do that with cheese.
My aunt, she usually gives me the chocolate ones, but I can like put them all down in one sitting usually, so I don't have the patience. 6:20 right now. Just ahead for us on this Tuesday morning, a fast food chain is getting into the wine business. Why you'll have to make a run for the border to get it.
And students learning online at UW-Madison say they're not getting what they signed up for. Their request for compensation coming up in our next half hour.
With a nursing degree, helping others went from a job to a career.
At Healthy Minds, we recognize these are trying times, but we're here to help. Our personalized care and expertise in cutting-edge therapies can help you maintain good balance and vitality in your life. We can help you and those you care about. Contact Healthy Minds today.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, comfort can also mean efficiency, because being more efficient with your home heating can mean spending less on it. And that's something everyone can get comfortable with. If you're ready for Carrier Comfort, now you can get cool cash rebates of up to $1,650 on a new system. Carrier, turn to the experts.
For all your heating and cooling needs, call us at Modern Heating and Cooling or Bethke Heating and Air Conditioning in Verona.
The chief actuary of the Social Security Administration just released an analysis of Trump's planned cuts to Social Security. Under Trump's plan, Social Security would become permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. If Trump gets his way, Social Security benefits will run out in just 3 years from now. Don't let it happen. Joe Biden will protect Social Security.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Uneven surfaces are a major hazard to your family, friends, and employees. Don't risk another fall. Let Concrete Lifting Technologies raise up your pavement. Our minimally intrusive process uses polyurethane to level sunken concrete and provide an even surface. Plus, this process is a fraction of the cost to replacing your driveway. Concrete Lifting Technologies, Southern Wisconsin's premier concrete leveling specialists. For a free estimate, contact us today.
Medical bills, missed time at work, life-changing injuries, household expenses. When you're the victim of an accident, it can feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. But we've dedicated our personal injury law firm to help take this crippling burden off your back. Havish, Havish & Rotier. We fight for what's right.
It's the furniture sale you don't want to miss. It's A1 Furniture's Back and Better Than Ever sale. Save up to 40% store-wide. Living room sets, bedroom sets, dining room sets, all up to 40% off our already low prices. Plus, tax included on every purchase over $4.99. And that's not all. How about take 48 months to pay with no interest to qualified buyers? Most in-store items available for immediate pickup or delivery. Shop in-store or online at a1furniture.com. Don't miss the A1 Back and Better Than Ever sale. On now.
At Healthy Minds, we recognize these are trying times, but we're here to help. Our personalized care and expertise in cutting-edge therapies can help you maintain good balance and vitality in your life. We can help you and those you care about. Contact Healthy Minds today.
Folks, I got a special sunrise for you today. That's because it's actually a sunset from my Uncle Steve. Yeah, I set that one up nicely, didn't I? That's right.
Special sunrise. It's actually a sunset.
It's 12 hours later.
There you go. But it's from my Uncle Steve. What a phenomenal picture taker. This is the Mississippi River out in Bagley. He spent a little bit of time here. I think it was last weekend he sent me this photo. And I'm finally getting around to putting it on TV.
Great
Sorry,
picture.
Unc.
I want to be there right now.
I always want to be spending more time with my Uncle Steve. He's always doing neat stuff like this.
Uncle Steve sounds like, yeah, good guy to hang out with.
He's a party. I love him. He's great.
All right, snap a pic. Show us what your morning looks like. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning.
Well, guys, when you think of a nice glass of wine, you probably don't think tacos, and you definitely don't think Taco Bell. But the fast food chain wants to change that. Check out its latest creation, Jalapeno Noir. Don't worry. The wine doesn't actually taste like jalapenos. It's made by a vineyard in Ontario. It's got notes of wild strawberry, cherry, and beetroot. But if you want to taste it, you're going to have to run for the border. The wine is only available for a limited time in Canada or the Canadian website for $19.
False advertising. It's called Jalapeno Noir and it doesn't taste like jalapenos?
This is all very confusing.
I'm so confused. Last half hour, we had a lot of questions about this.
You know what, though? Ontario is wine country, and they make a lot of fabulous wines up there. So
really?
Probably tastes okay, yeah.
Road trip.
Tons of vineyards in Ontario.
Let's take the show on the road. We got to try this for ourselves.
You guys, we're not allowed in Canada right now.
Oh, that's true.
Borders closed.
Maybe 2021.
I don't know. That might be too soon, too, the way things are going.
Fingers crossed. Okay. So we want to remind you this morning that our annual Coats for Kids drive is underway. We're looking for winter coats and other winter gear of all sizes, including hats, mittens, gloves, and snowsuits. We talked to the owner of Clinky Cleaners, and he suggested plus sizes are always in need, so throw those in as well. You can drop those items off at any Clinky Cleaners location, and there's a drive-through option at most locations this year. The drive runs through October 10th.
Luckily, we don't really have to worry about the jacket this week as the temperatures warmed back up for us.
Yeah, you can leave the jacket at home today. Temperatures are in the 50s right now here in Madison. We have 56 degrees, light south wind. Through the day, here's how those temperatures are going to warm. By lunchtime, we'll already be in the 70s. Look for highs near 80 later today.
When we come back, we're tracking a new crash in the First Warn Traffic Center that has the ramp closed onto the belt line from the interstate. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Let us help you create your family's recipe for health. SSM Health and News 3 Now are making it easy by putting all the ingredients right at your fingertips. With topics like healthy habits, nutrition, and mental well-being, there's something for everyone. Visit Channel 3000's Time for Kids page for advice from SSM Health experts.
And catch fresh and informative reports on News 3 Now.
Take time for kids with SSM Health and News 3 Now.
Slumberland's huge Labor Day sale ends Saturday. Don't miss out on updating your home for less. Get this stylish, comfy sectional for just $9.98 and get the storage ottoman free. Or an incredible price on this highly recommended Sealy Posturepedic Queen mattress for just $4.49. If you've been waiting for our very best deals, this is it. But these deals are only till Saturday. Plus, get free shipping with no minimum. You don't want to miss this one. The Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
TSR Concrete Coatings is the nation's largest residential concrete coating company, proudly serving homeowners throughout Wisconsin. Our coatings are 4 times stronger than regular epoxy and won't chip, crack, or peel. They're impact resistant and UV stable. Our unique process begins with a base coat to seal cracks and level the surface, then flakes in the color pattern of your choice. A top coat is applied for a durable finished floor that can be installed in as little as 1 day. Act now to save 15% on your concrete coating project. Ask about 12-month same-as-cash financing. TSR Nation is growing by the day with satisfied customers throughout Wisconsin, and we want you to be a part of it. As a special bonus, call during this program and receive a free TSR swag pack with your concrete coating project. Call 1-800-886-8411. That's 1-800-886-8411.
If I'm your president on day one, We'll implement the national strategy I've been laying out since March. We'll develop and deploy rapid tests with results available immediately. We'll make the medical supplies and protective equipment that our country needs. We'll make them here in America. We'll have a national mandate to wear masks, not as a burden, but as a patriotic duty to protect one another. In short, we'll do what we should have done from the very beginning. Our current president has failed in his most basic duty to the nation. He's failed to protect America. And my fellow Americans, that is unforgivable. As president, I'll make you a promise. I'll protect America. I will defend us from every attack, seen and unseen, always, without exception, every time. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Short notice to switch gears. Students at 2 Janesville schools going online less than 24 hours after the district made the call. We'll tell you which questions are still unanswered this morning.
Hazy sunshine and warm temps. Your full forecast is coming up.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. More schools are switching back to online learning, and it starts this morning for 2 schools in Janesville.
In-person learning for these 2 schools is no longer an option, at least for now. Janesville had been leaving the choice between in-school learning or virtual up to parents. But yesterday, parents with kids at Craig High School and Roosevelt Elementary School got the email saying their kids would be learning online only through at least next Friday. The school's statement says there are several known cases of COVID-19, but it didn't specifically say how many. And that's just the start of questions coming from district parents.
Are there more kids that were exposed? Are there more tests that came back positive? It's just, one of those what if, why, how.
The district says they don't think these students got COVID in class. They likely brought it into the district instead. The schools will do contact tracing through next Friday to help decide whether to extend that at-home learning mandate.
Meantime, in Florida, they are seeing an increase in cases among children. The state was one of the first to reopen many of its schools for in-person learning as early as August 10th. At that point, there were just under 43,000 children who tested positive. Now, just a month later, more than 1 in 4 kids tested for COVID-19 there test positive, with more than 10,000 new cases. In some of the counties hit hardest, the positivity rate among kids tested is 20.5%. Nearly 550,000 kids in the U.S. have tested positive with COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic. The American Academy of Pediatrics says nearly 73,000 of those cases were reported between August 27th and September 10th. That is a 15% increase in child cases over 2 weeks. Children make up 10% of all reported cases in the U.S., and they're likely underreported. That's because COVID-19 data for children is inconsistently collected nationwide.
UW-Madison says it's investigating more than 300 students for violating policies related to COVID-19. Now, it's unclear which policies have been violated. You'll remember thousands of students have been ordered to quarantine in 2 dorms and 24 Greek Life houses, and all classes on campus have been pushed online until at least next Wednesday.
Yeah, with classes now online for the time being, some UW students are demanding a partial refund. An online petition is gaining some traction this morning on social media with nearly 700 signatures. Breon Newble is one of the organizers. He says families shouldn't have to pay for resources they can no longer access.
Seeing as campus is currently closed and will be for the next 2 weeks and can probably be reasonably expected to be closed for the remainder of the semester, there's really no chance of us being able to utilize most of the services that we're technically paying for.
The petition specifically focuses on a $750 service and amenity fees from the university. University policy only reimburses that fee to students who drop out entirely. The deadline for full tuition reimbursement was Friday, but the university is considering moving that date back by a couple of weeks.
Another petition hoping to change the university's mind on canceling spring break. UW's Faculty Senate voted on that decision yesterday. Spring break will now be cut from the spring semester, and classes will instead start 1 week later. The university said dropping spring break would discourage students and staff from traveling and then bringing the virus back to campus. Students against the decision say the week off allows them to take a mental break. It has just about 150 signatures as of this morning.
Moving out of your parents' place is a rite of passage for many young adults, but because of the pandemic, more are living with their parents now than at any time in the past century. More than half of 18 to 29-year-olds are now living with one or both parents. According to the Pew Research Center, that figure is up by more than 5 percentage points from before the pandemic. However, college campus closures didn't have a noticeable impact on this jump. Researchers say it's because it already considers unmarried students living in dorms as living with their parents. In all, about 2.6 million people moved in with their parents between February and July.
So we talked about this. You didn't really go back after college, huh?
I did one semester, yeah, after college, no, but like during school, I had to take a semester and move back home. Kind of came back home with my tail between my legs. Now, can I come back? But it was a great home life, and you know, it really helped me out during some tight times in college.
And that's at Stevens Point, where rent is nowhere near
No.
Madison. I paid sick amounts of money to stay in an apartment instead of moving back home to Highland. And I told you earlier, now I would prefer to go back home. Like to live with my parents again. Free meal, free rent.
That sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yes. Ugh.
All right.
6:34 right now, and developing this morning, people in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama are preparing for Hurricane Sally. It's already affecting the Gulf Coast this morning, but landfall is still about 24 hours away. The storm has been downgraded to a Category 1 storm after briefly reaching Cat 2 strength on Monday. Meteorologist Hattie McLean has the latest storm track on this, a real slow mover heads.
It certainly is, and that's going to increase the threat for very heavy rain across parts of the Gulf Coast. You can see some of those bands of rain already moving onshore, some lightning strikes embedded within those bands of rain as well. The storm system is actually taking a track a little bit further to the east. Right now it's a Category 1 storm. Sustained winds are around 85 miles an hour, gusts up to 105 miles an hour. Josh was mentioning, though, the slow movement on this system to the west-northwest at just 2 miles an hour. So the current forecast track for this storm system with that slow movement is going to take it closer to shore through the day today, making landfall early on Wednesday. Already, though, conditions are deteriorating from Louisiana into the Florida Panhandle. The storm is expected to weaken rather quickly once it moves onshore, but it will still produce very heavy rain as it slowly tracks across the southeastern corner of the United States. Note the track is going to take it away from Wisconsin, so we're not expecting any moisture or even any cloud cover from that system. We do have clouds in the sky, though, very high level cloudiness. It's more haze from the wildfires out west. You can see the upper level winds ushering that smoke from the western wildfires right back into the Great Lakes region. And you can tell in the sky as you look up, it looks more gray than blue this morning. That smoke is expected to stay around through the day today. Here's your current conditions. 56 right now in Madison. Winds are from the south at 6 miles an hour. In the Dells, you're checking in with 57 degrees. The same in Monroe. Janesville just a touch cooler with 55 right now. Our future track forecast model is actually pretty quiet today. Winds increase from the southwest. Temperatures should be back to around 70 by lunchtime. Our high later on this afternoon, pretty close to 80 degrees, so a few degrees warmer than it was yesterday. Should stay pretty nice through the evening hours, though, with clear skies expected. Here's a look at that extended forecast. Another warm one for tomorrow with a high of 78 degrees. Then a cold front brings cooler temperatures. It's not going to bring us any rain, but it will definitely drop those temperatures a bit. On Thursday, we're back to highs in the middle 60s.
Still can't complain when there's sunshine in the forecast, though.
I know, for the next 10 days.
Thank you, Hattie. Developing right now at 6:37, the Madison Clerk's Office is getting ready to mail out thousands of absentee ballots this morning. They tweeted out these photos overnight. Poll workers staying late to initial the nearly 80,000 absentee ballots, put them in envelopes, and get them ready to ship out today. The clerks are allowed to send the ballots out now because of the ruling from the Wisconsin Supreme Court. The judges voted 4-3, rejecting a request by the Green Party's presidential candidate to be added to the November ballot. The court said it was too late to add the candidate without causing confusion and trouble for Wisconsin voters. More than 1 million people in Wisconsin have already requested their absentee ballots.
The Trump campaign will make its second campaign stop of the week in Wisconsin today. Donald Trump Jr. will go to Wausau for an event this afternoon. Then President Trump will visit Mosinee on Thursday. It's a day earlier than he had originally planned. This comes after Vice President Mike Pence's visit to Janesville for a campaign stop yesterday.
Joe Biden is staffing his campaign with a team of top lawyers ahead of the November election. The New York Times reports the Biden campaign says the legal team will work to make sure votes are properly counted. It also plans to fight voter suppression at the polls and identify foreign interference and misinformation. President Trump's campaign has its own attorneys already handling cases on a variety of different voting issues.
The Nevada company that hosted the president's most recent indoor campaign rally is facing a $3,000 fine this morning. Extreme Manufacturing held President Trump's Sunday rally in Henderson, Nevada. Thousands of people attended, despite the state's rule banning gatherings of more than 50 people. Masks were encouraged at the rally, but they weren't required, except for the people standing behind the president. The owner of the company wouldn't immediately say whether he plans to fight that fine.
A local employer is giving its 13,000 employees a paid day off to vote. American Family Insurance says employees can choose to take November 3rd off, or they can take a paid day off anytime during Wisconsin's earlier absentee voting period. American Family also plans to open 2 of its facilities in Madison to be used as polling places.
6:39 right now. We're continuing to follow breaking news this morning. You're taking a live look at the scene of a semi rollover. This is on the southbound ramp of I-3990 to the Beltline in the southeast Madison Metro. It happened about 90 minutes ago. We're told the semi was on fire when crews arrived and that there is at least 1 injury this morning. Now, this crash is causing some major delays that will impact your morning commute. If we can take a look at the first one traffic maps right now behind me, we do have some delays ramping up from there. Looking a lot better at this hour. We were down to around 13 miles an hour in that area, now up to 58. So looking a lot better this half hour. And again, that ramp has reopened to traffic. Just keep in mind they are still working to clear that from the side of the road. That's a look at your first warn traffic. Let's take a live look outside on this Tuesday. There's that crash again. As we take a look at that, we'll be continuing to track that throughout the morning here on News 3 Now.
And this isn't exactly your ideal wake-up call, right? We're going to explain how a bear, there he is, made himself at home. That's coming up after the break.
Fry Construction is celebrating their 25-year anniversary, which means big savings on home repairs and improvements. No job is too small or too big, and your safety is always our concern. Respected in the industry and voted best of Madison, Fry Construction delivers lasting quality for your home. And now, for a limited time, save 25% off gutters or insulation with a full roof, siding, or window project, all with 0 down, 0% interest for 12 months. Contact Fry Construction today.
I've always had jobs centered on helping people, but now with a nursing degree from Herzing University, I've made it a career.
Having a job was one thing, but having a career, to me, that meant something completely different. With a little hard work and a degree from Herzing University, anything is possible.
I'm possible at Herzing.
For our seniors, Social Security is a sacred obligation, a sacred promise made. The current president is threatening to break that promise. He's proposing to eliminate a tax that pays for almost half the Social Security without any way of making up for that lost revenue. I will not let that happen. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
You were always the responsible one, so much like me, always taking care of everyone else. But this wasn't your responsibility. I already took care of the arrangements. The Ryans made it so easy. I didn't want you to worry about a thing. It's my last gift to you, my lovely daughter.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Call Hillestead Heating and Cooling in Madison and Lodi. In the Monroe area, call Roofer Refrigeration and Heating.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today.
right, we can all agree falling asleep on a chair next to a pool sounds like a great way to spend your day.
Oh, perfect, right? But now when it ends like this, check this out. A bear
hey, dude.
coming up to this guy's poolside, and there's a dude in one of those pool chairs.
There he is.
There, taking a nap. The bear comes over to wake him up.
Hey, bud.
He gives him a little tap.
Wake up.
Here. Hey, what are you doing? Wake up, buddy. What's the guy do? Grabs his phone right away, goes to take a picture. It's good stuff. The bear ends up coming back, too. And, you know, maybe he wants his close-up. And then he just goes away.
I might be in the minority here, but I think this is a great way to wake up next to a pool.
You think the bear is adorable,
I'd be all about this. It's like I said earlier, it's not a grizzly. It's not gonna. Not that all bears are safe per se.
It's just a friendly, cuddly little bear.
But he just wanted to hang out. He's curious.
Just a 500-pound wild animal.
Totally normal. Just another day in my life.
This is what you were hoping to see when you went out west.
I have
This
yet
is what
to
you
see.
wanted.
We have gone backcountry camping so many times. I have yet to see a bear.
You just need to get a pool.
Trips. Yeah, apparently I'm hanging out at the wrong spots. Just got to go to this guy's backyard, make some rich friends with the pool.
Leah's not a very quiet person.
That's a really good point. That's probably the problem.
Thank you. You might announce your arrival.
The peanut butter in the tent just never works, I guess. Yeah, just hasn't worked for me yet.
Well, adults who have been working from home might be starting to get the hang of things now that we're about 6 months into the pandemic. But for kids, doing schoolwork from home is still pretty new. And some are taking it harder than others. Take a look at this photo. Kara McDonald posted this on Twitter and says her kindergartner on a 40-minute video call is a, quote, total mood. This picture going viral this morning, resonating with a lot of people, all ages online. But it's not all painful. She also shared this picture from the same day with her son smiling and showing off his stuffed animal for show and tell. She says teachers are trying their best.
What a cutie.
Oh, is that acceptable for us on our Wednesday?
Just turn off the video. Yeah, take a little nap. We're up early. We deserve it.
Yeah, those can be pretty painful, that's for sure. All right, 6:45 on your Tuesday, and we've got a nice sunny day on tap for us, Hads.
We certainly do, but just like yesterday, we're probably not going to see that bright, sunny, blue sky in the area. It's still pretty hazy around here. Our temperatures this morning, 56 in Madison, 57 in the Dells. Not a bad start to the day at all. It's actually pretty mild outside. Winds are going to be increasing through the day today, so it'll be a little breezy this afternoon. Don't worry though, it's a southwesterly wind, so it will warm us up. Take a look at your day planner temperatures. Hazy sunshine already across southern Wisconsin. Look for highs at 79 later on this afternoon.
All right, thanks, Hattie. 6:46, stick around. The morning sprint's coming up after the break.
But first, September 15th, and we want to say happy birthday to Grayson and all the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks for waking up early and celebrating on News 3 Now this morning.
Coast 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At Shopco Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're Shopco Optical. You'll see. Right now, get 40% off frames with any lens purchase.
Lately, we've come to appreciate what home has to offer. Right now at Feldco, buy one window and you'll get one free, plus no interest for 1 year. That'll help keep your home and your family warm, safe, and comfortable all year long. That's something we've been providing for almost 50 years. Let Feldco get you ready for colder weather. Buy one window, get one free now.
Buy one, get one free, and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease.
Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
I was sworn into the United States Senate in a hospital. My wife and daughter had been killed in an automobile crash. And And lying in the bed were my two little boys. I couldn't have imagined what it would have been like if I didn't have insurance to cover them immediately and fully. 40 years later, one of those little boys, my son Bo, was diagnosed with terminal cancer, given months to live. I can't fathom what would have happened if the insurance companies had the power to say, last few months you're on your own. The fact of the matter is, healthcare is personal to me. Obamacare is personal to me. When I see the President of the United States try to eliminate this healthcare in the middle of a public health crisis, that's personal to me too. We got to build on what we did because every American deserves affordable health care. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
It's the mattress sale you don't want to miss. The A1 Back and Better Than Ever sale on now. With savings of up to 40% on top brand mattresses. Get a Nectar or Dream Cloud. The only mattresses with a 365-night guarantee and a lifetime warranty. Plus tax included on every purchase over $499. And for qualified customers, 48 months free financing. Most in-store items available for immediate pickup or delivery. One location only. Stoughton Road, Madison. Don't miss the A1 Back and Better Than Ever sale on now.
Download the Channel 3000 app today.
It's 6:49 and it's time for the morning sprint.
We start with some breaking news overnight. Right now, a man is recovering in the hospital this morning after being shot several times. Madison police say it happened just after 10 on Hayes Road, just off of the interstate. Police say a woman who knows the man was found nearby and is now in custody. The man had surgery and is expected to recover. Also breaking overnight, it took firefighters more than 3 hours to put out this fire in Cottage Grove. It started just before 10 o'clock and wasn't put out until around 1 o'clock this morning. This is on County Highway BB. We're told a house and an outbuilding caught on fire, but no injuries have been reported.
One person is dead after a 3-car crash in the town of Oak Grove. It happened along County Highway A and County Highway W. State Patrol says one of the cars didn't stop at a stop sign and was hit by a tractor trailer. That car was then pushed into a Dodge County squad car waiting to turn. The driver of the car that didn't stop was killed. The State Patrol officer and the driver of the other car are both okay.
There are now more than 2,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 at UW-Madison. The 7-day average of COVID-19 tests done on students and staff is just under 190. Chancellor Rebecca Blank says there are no known hospitalizations among students. More than 45,000 college students across the U.S. have now tested positive for coronavirus.
There are now more than 90,000 all-time confirmed cases in Wisconsin. 11% of those are still active this morning. The percentage of positive cases remains high. Yesterday, nearly 1 of every 5 tests came back positive.
Customs and Border Protection is now in possession of more than 500,000 counterfeit N95 masks. Axios reports CBP officers took them from Chicago's O'Hare Airport. The shipment was meant to go to New Jersey from China.
Breaking overnight, President Trump says if Iran kills a U.S. ambassador to South Africa, the U.S. would respond with an attack 1,000 times greater. Politico originally reported last night that the Iranian government was considering an assassination attempt on the ambassador. U.S. officials say the attack is believed to be in retaliation for the January killing of General Soleimani. Iran has denied those reports.
Hundreds of thousands of immigrants in the U.S. are now at risk of deportation. A federal appellate court is siding with the Trump administration, saying it can't second-guess its efforts to end the temporary protected status programs. These programs protect roughly 300,000 immigrants from El Salvador, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Sudan. They're designed to avoid deporting immigrants to struggling home countries.
A whistleblower says immigrants at an ICE detention center in Georgia are facing horrific conditions. According to the complaint, a former nurse at the site reported an alarmingly high rate of hysterectomies being performed on Spanish-speaking immigrants. The Guardian reports many of the immigrants didn't appear to understand why they were having their uteruses removed. Humanitarian rights groups plan to file the complaint to Congress and the United Nations. The actions described in the complaint are considered acts of genocide by the UN.
There is now a $175,000 reward in the search for the person who shot 2 Los Angeles County deputies over the weekend. No one has been identified yet. Surveillance video shows someone walking up to the squad car, drawing a gun gun and shooting into the vehicle. New video shows the wounded 31-year-old female deputy covered in blood, applying a tourniquet to her 24-year-old partner's bleeding arm. The deputies are out of surgery this morning, but they are still in critical condition.
Former Badger Jonathan Taylor is now the Indianapolis Colts starting running back. Marlon Mack is the usual starter for the Colts, but he'll miss the rest of the season after rupturing his Achilles tendon. Taylor was a second-round draft pick back in April.
The Department of Veterans Affairs says the information of 46,000 vets could be compromised. A data breach exposed personal information like Social Security numbers to unauthorized users. The department says the users got access to an online application used for making healthcare payments. The original plan was to take the veterans' financial information and divert payments from the VA. The payment application will be taken offline until a security review is done.
Well, if you're looking for a job, FedEx is hiring. The company is looking for 70,000 people to help during the upcoming holiday season. Most of these new hires will be seasonal. The company has seen an increase in shipments because more people are staying and shopping at home.
Breaking overnight, a massive chunk of Greenland's ice cap has broken off in the far northeastern Arctic. Scientists say the section is more than 42 square miles, and researchers say that the break is evidence of rapid climate change. The ice shelf has lost more than 62 square miles since 1999. That's about twice the size of Manhattan.
There are now more than 87 wildfires burning across 10 states, spanning more than 4.6 million acres. That's how much wildfires burned in the U.S. in all of 2019. The fires are worsening air quality for millions of Americans, too. In Portland, the city now has the second worst air quality in the world. Seattle and San Francisco are also in the top 5. More than 24 people have died.
The Wisconsin DMV is opening up a new temporary location in Madison today. The new office is on South Park Street. It'll be open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to 5 until December 29th. The new location was opened up because Dane County really only has 2 permanent DMV customer service centers, one on the west side and one on the east side.
We're continuing to follow breaking news this morning. A live look at the scene of a rollover. This is on the southbound ramp of I-3990 to the Beltline in Madison. It happened about 2 hours ago. We're told the semi was on fire and that there is at least 1 injury this morning. That crash no longer causing any major commute issues this morning. As we take a look at my traffic maps, you can see we're all in the green, but as you could tell from that live shot there, that semi is still there. Crews are working to clear it, so keep that in mind. Take it a little slow in that area. That's your first warn traffic.
And your first warn weather on this Tuesday morning. We start with a hazy sunrise here in Madison. Beautiful picture from our sky camera looking at the reddish-orange sun this morning. It will be hazy all day today. Temperatures are already climbing through the 50s into the 60s in some spots. Temperatures will top right around 79 later on this afternoon. Gets a little breezy through the afternoon hours with those southwesterly winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's a look at your extended forecast then. We have warm temperatures again on Wednesday. Then we're going to cool it down. Starting on Thursday, highs will be in the 60s. But overall, that extended forecast is looking very quiet for southern Wisconsin. Plenty of sunshine and not a lot of rain.
Thank you, Hattie. And thanks for joining us this morning, folks. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.